everybody. Welcome to Thursday night. We're all back and I am so excited because we only have 2 blocks left and I've got my friend Jeannie at the controls tonight. John is not here tonight. He is babysitting some grandkids and I'll tell you about that a little bit later and why he's doing that. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can't, or a thumbs down if you can't, but I think you can. So anyways, what we're going to do tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about block number 24. We're going to be talking about wagon tracks, and this one is super easy. I've kind of prepped a few things, but there's no prep really involved. This one is going to be, I say it's going to be easy, and then I'll probably have problems. So you guys know how this goes. Anyway, we'll do that, and then we'll do a little bit of a slideshow. I'll catch you up on a few things. And I've got to tell you about a new piece of furniture I got in my sewing room, and I got to show it to my friend Jeannie tonight. She's like, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. And my friend Jennifer at the Sewing House in Collierville, Tennessee, I am working with her, and she has worked out a great deal for my listeners. So anybody on the channel, you guys are going to get to hear about that deal. And I am just so excited, but she's only doing it for my listeners. So if you don't have this code that I'm going to give you later on in the show, then you're not going to be in on the deal. So you have to pay attention. Okay. We're going to get into Wagon Tracks block J6. It's on page 80. And Jeannie's going to show the table, which is number 2. Yes, ma'am. Jeannie's going to be... It's so funny because John's like, if Jeannie does a great job, maybe I won't have a job when I get back. So I don't think so. So what we're going to do, what you're going to need, if you're going to do half square triangles, there's half square triangles. There's 4 of them in this block. You're going to need the H200 triangles on a roll. And then it tells you to cut a 17.5-inch strip of white and of the green. And so we're going to do that. So we're going to stitch this up first. All you have to do is stitch this one. And so we're going to do that real quick. And I'm going to put a 1/4 inch seam. And by the way, if you have questions, put those in the chat. Jeannie is going to monitor those tonight. And I will answer those at the end. So I'm going to stitch this up real quick. And I don't pin. I'm not a pinner unless I absolutely have to pin. This is not one of those times where I need to pin. I'm just going to run this straight seam. Oh. And you guys, if you do not have a Juki, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's the best machine on the planet. And even my friend Jeannie would agree. Yes. She said yes. And I am pressing this seam real quick because I like to press it down first, and then we're going to press it open before we cut. And it's going to tell us to refer to some different things, but this one is, we're just going to be cutting these into 10 strips of 1.5-inch wide pieces. So we'll be doing that after we press this one. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. We are getting ready for quilt retreat at my house, and I am so excited to have my girlfriends come and sew. And it's been a long time since all of us have been together to sew. It's like one of my favorite things to do with them. Okay, so we are going to cut these into 10 pieces, 10 little strips of 1.5, and we're going to cut that first piece, get that nice and straight. So I'm going to get that, put that in my little trash can there. Okay. And I like to, when I'm doing, and I know what these lights are so bad. That might be better. I'm going to scoot it up a little bit to get it out of the light. I like to line up this middle seam with one of the larger lines in my ruler. So I'm going to line that up first and make sure it's on that seam, and I'm not looking at these 2 sides of the fabric. I'm just going to go right here, and I'm going to start cutting them up. So there's 1, 2, And now as I'm counting, it makes me think of, do you remember, Jeannie, those Tootsie Roll Pops commercials? Whereas the owl, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? The world may never know. Oh, and I'm addicted to Tootsie Roll Pops. I'll admit, we bought some for an event that we had at work, and we had a ton of them left over. So I was like, every time I turned around or if I got up to go get something, I was going to get a Tootsie Roll Pop. And then, of course, when they so nicely let me go, I still had my addiction to Tootsie Roll Pops. And so I started buying them and having them at the house. And John's like, you have to stop buying these Tootsie Roll Pops. Okay, I've got 7, 8. I need 2 more. We can all be get a little addiction going to certain fun little treats, and Tootsie Roll Pops are my thing. Okay, so we've got 10 there. Okay, perfect. I don't know why I need 10. I should just need, oh yeah, I do need 10. I'm making this as we go. Okay, what I love about these types of blocks, though, you can nest these seams. I did press to one side. Most of the time I like to press open, but on things like this, I love a nesting seam. There's nothing like it. So I'm going to nest these seams and I'm going to stitch them down. And I am not pinning again. So should I? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, my thread, it came unthreaded. You know what's hilarious though? I was just telling Jeannie, this is karma for me. I told Jeannie about my episode a couple of weeks ago where it was like, oh my gosh, the machine kept coming unthreaded and I didn't know what I was doing and I wasn't comfortable with it. But this machine, I know how to use it. So all good. All right. All right, let's get these. My mic went off. I wonder if my mic, I don't know if it's been charging this whole time. Can you guys hear me now? It looks like it's on. I wonder if it went off for some reason. Let's try this one. Can everybody hear me now? We don't care. Listen, I have learned that everybody cares about us being authentic and real more than perfect. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to be real and perfect. Real, imperfect. How's that? Hopefully everybody can hear me now. Yay. Sorry about that, everybody. Real life problems. Okay. And it wasn't Jeannie's fault. Jeannie's panicking. She's like, what are you? Nothing. And it's all good. Okay, we're going to lay these out. These will go just like this. This one will go here. This is a really cute block. I like this one a lot. And I picked green just to match everything else, like in the book. And now we're going to do the half square triangles. And I'm going to switch my foot out, because the other foot I had on had that guard, the edge, the guide, I should say, the 1/4 inch piecing foot. And I really love that. But I don't need that. I'm just going to use my open toe foot. And I know it's not called an open toe foot. And I'm really glad I just checked this, because I have this pinned wrong. I was in a hurry today and I totally missed that. I almost made a boo-boo. You want to do right sides together just like anything else. And I had that turned. Glad I caught that before I started sewing. Okay. And I'm going to shorten up my stitch. We're just going to sew on that dotted line. Are 4 patch blocks 2.5? Yes. I think they are. Let's double check. Good question. They are. Which is why I'm making a 2.5 inch half square triangle, because they're all the same size. That is the one thing I will say about this book. I wish they had said, like, you know, trim to 2.5 inches or whatever it was. That's the one thing I feel like is missing out of this book. But I've loved all of the blocks. Okay, I'm going to move that out of the way. We're going to cut. And I'll go around the perimeter first. Jeannie was one of our first guests on our podcast 4 years ago. Can you believe that's 4 years ago, Jeannie? Time flies when you're having a lot of fun. We talked about divorce fabric. It was awesome. If you haven't heard that episode, I think literally it might have been episode 2 or 3. So you'll have to go back and listen and you'll hear my friend Jeannie. It's pretty funny. Okay, so now we're going to tear our paper off, and I'm going to pull my little trash can over because, oh my gosh, I love this little thing. Jeannie, did you see this trash can? I did. I like it. I got this at Target for $6, and I just stuck my sticker on it. It's so cute. Comes in super handy, and you don't have trash and garbage left all over your table. What's the length of your stitch on the paper? The length, I've got it at 1.5. So I'm using a 1.5 inch stitch length on my, when I use paper, because I just think it's, then you don't pull your stitches out when you're pulling your paper off. Look at me just throwing the paper on the table when I have a trash can right in front of me. So this makes it super easy to rip. Now there's also, like, there's foundation paper piecing pins that you can use. I don't really use them because I shorten my stitch length, but if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you don't like those very tiny stitches, you can use those foundation paper pins, and they are pretty nice. They're just, you just put water in them, and then it helps you just go right along the seam and press your seams. I should be pressing to the dark side, but I'm not. Oh, that's fine. Jeannie and I are having fun. Jeannie's been my one of my best friends since, how long have we been best friends, Jeannie?
2013.
12 years? It's our 12-year anniversary.
Been a while.
I love her like a sister. She's the oldest sister. I remember years ago when we first started being friends, they used to really harass me a lot. And I got my feelings hurt. And I'm like, I am not the little sister. Do you remember that, Jeannie? And then they just wanted to harass me more. And so I learned really quick that I just needed to learn to suck it up and go with the flow. And I did. And it was the best thing I ever did because they're my best friends. They are my sisters. And I don't even care if I am. I actually brag about being the little sister now. So I remind them frequently that I'm the little sister. Okay. So now we're going to put these little blocks. Can you guys see that? Hopefully. We're going to put these like so. And this one goes here. How cute is that? Now we're just going to stitch them all together. See, I told you this was an easy block. And I'm switching my foot back to my 1/4 inch piecing foot. Because I really like having my edge. And I'm double checking myself because I want to make sure I have that correct. And I do. Okay. And I am not pinning again. Because pinning will take me too much time. And I am chain piecing this as well. So I'm going the first row. Oh, Jeannie, you want to show my table real quick? I'm going to attach this next set. I'm going straight down. So I chain piece this and then I'll put it back on the board. So I'll show you how that kind of works and comes together. Just keep them all together. And that way you don't have to really think about it. Am I making you dizzy?
No, I'm going back and forth.
Oh.
Am I going back and forth too much?
They'll tell you. They'll tell you, Jeannie, if we're making them sick. Okay, and I've kept this all attached. So now I'm going to start attaching. I'm going to cut these like that. And I'm going to start attaching these. John is watching the grandkids tonight because it is our daughter-in-law, which I hate that word. So I want to say daughter, but because I call her my daughter, but I didn't have to give birth to her. So she's the daughter I didn't have to give birth to. I wish there was a better way to say that. It is her 30th birthday. And so they are surprising her tonight. And I'm supposed to tell, speaking of, I'm supposed to tell my grandkids hello because they are watching me. John is watching too. So, hello, Lila. She loves when I call her out. So, Lila and Lincoln and Landon, they are all staying up to watch Gigi sew. And Lila is my little sewer. She's going to be the next quilter in our family. Okay, now I'm going to cut these apart. And I'm going to press. And so the easy way to tell which direction to press these, I like to flip this over and you can kind of start telling which direction this is going to go. These kind of want to go in. Do you see that? These seams want to go in. These want to lay out. So I'm going to let them do what they want to do. Just like my grandkids. They're like my grandchildren, my little seams. I let them do what they want. And I'll double check this, obviously, when we flip it back over. Make sure it's laying in the right direction. But this one, we want this to go like this. And this one, we're going to go, oh, see, almost bit in. It wants to go in, so let's let it do what it wants to do. All right, that was the first press, but you guys know how much I love acorn spray. You see how I pressed this? You saw me press it, but they're still kind of, they're not perfect. They're not perfectly flat. So I'm going to give these a quick spritz of acorn. And then we're going to watch the magic happen. Because this stuff is literally magic. It's like voodoo. Do you see how flat that gets? Isn't that crazy? This stuff is so good. If you don't have any acorn spray, I don't know what you're waiting on, because it is so, so, so good. Okay, we're almost there. Then we're going to piece this down. But I'm going to flip these over to make sure I've got these going the right way before we start stitching. That's correct. And that's that way. So we're going to piece these, and you'll see how these nest. Normally I would pin that. So I'm going to. I've got some pins handy. I'm just going to pin those nested areas together, and then we'll stitch that down. I wonder if any of our friends dialed in tonight, Jeannie.
Oh, I haven't looked at it.
I guarantee you they didn't. We'll harass them about that later. And then we're just going to go right down. Let's see. And I did not increase my stitch length. I'll take it to about a 1.8. There's the first one, and that's just perfect. Love that. Now we're going to go back, and we're going to nest these pieces. This is probably the easiest block out of all of them, and don't we deserve an easy block? Jeannie, this is block 24. Can you believe that? We've made a ton of blocks. Okay, and then we're going to stitch this one down. Make sure those are lined up. Okay. And there we have it. So pretty. So I'm going to press this real quick, give it a quick press, and then I will spray it with acorn too. And then we will have our wagon tracks done. That was a fun, easy quilt block tonight. I like an easy quilt block. Of course, I like to trim my threads all the way around after I'm finished. But there you go. Wagon tracks. Block J6, number 24. Yay! All done. All right. I'm going to go to my main screen. Number 1.
I have it on one.
Oh, click on, let's see. It's okay. Let's try. I don't know why. Oh, my camera went dead. It's saying my battery's low.
Oh, there we go.
But it's plugged in, so I don't know. And it's saying no battery. But I have a battery.
All right, we're working on it.
Everybody, technical difficulties. I'm going to get one of these batteries since it's saying it shouldn't need a battery, but it's saying battery exhausted. So I'll swap it out and we will be good to go. It's not a live stream with me unless I've got crazy. Thank goodness I have backup batteries handy. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit slideshow. And this is where I get to sit and chat and let Jeannie. Okay, I had to share some cute pictures of my grandkids this week because Landon is just, I'm obsessed with her. She is styling all the time. And in this picture, you can't tell, but she has a little purse. And inside her little purse, she decided that she was going to take with her her muffins from breakfast. So I just think she's a hoot. I just think she's so cute. Okay, if you've all been interested, I'm sure Tyler is on tonight. This is Julia, my sweet Julia, and if you know, we've talked about her a million times. This is her boyfriend, Tyler, who I had to convince for both of them to say, I love you, which is an ongoing joke now. But we love you, Tyler, and we love you, Julia, and I'm just tickled y'all are together. So anyways, super cute. If you missed this week, I was on Caterpillar's Handmade Collective, and it was so fun. Bethany, she is a riot, and she's Craft with Bethany. If you don't follow her, do that. But you can go out to Caterpillar's YouTube channel, and I was on their YouTube. It's still out there, so you can go out and watch. I was on there day 2, and I was the 3rd presenter or teacher that day, and I did a whole thing on collage, and I'll show you. This is the one that I made during the live, and it's just so cute. I love it, love it, love it. So go out and check that out if you haven't. It's super fun, and you'll be addicted to Caterpillar stuff because I totally am. So anyway, and there's me doing that. So you will get a full demo. If you want to go out to that, you'll see the whole process of how to do collage. This is Tucker, my grand dog, and PJ. So PJ is the one that you see there on the right. She's actually being really good tonight. I'm really surprised. Jeannie must have given her something in her food. Okay, I had to share this with you because I follow Trisha Leach, and it's like Where's Trish Cooking, I think, on YouTube. We follow them because Mark and Trish, they have Keep Your Daydream. It's an RVing YouTube channel. We love watching them. They're so fun. And she's a wonderful cook, and she's honestly a chef. And she ended up going out to France and taking classes on pastries, and oh my gosh, it was just fantastic. But she had this fantastic meal that she cooked in the RV, which is crazy. We didn't get to go camping last weekend because it was storming, and so I said, we'll just make one of their meals and we'll feel like we're camping. And so this was a Mediterranean meal, and it was so good. I did the chicken on skewers. I made fresh hummus, which I've never done before. It was super easy and so good. I made some rice that had some honey and paprika in it. It was delicious. And then the salad, oh my gosh, the salad was amazing. I never made like a Mediterranean dressing, and it was like, oh my gosh, it was fantastic. So I had to share it because it's not every day I cook all of that stuff. And so it was fun. Okay, if you're curious about my family, I just had to show you the rest of my family. I'm always showing my grandkids, but I'm not ever showing my kids. The gentleman with the very large beard in the front, that is my son Logan. And that's Samantha, my daughter that I didn't have to give birth to. Over to the right, that's his wife, and she's precious. Happy birthday, Sam. And then there is Julia behind. That is my actual daughter I did give birth to, all 9 pounds, 2 ounces of her, which is why she's the last baby. And then Tyler, next to her. They were at the Hank Williams Jr. concert, which apparently didn't start till like 10 something because Hank just couldn't get that plane to land, I guess. I don't know what was happening, but anyways. Okay, here's another one of Landy, but I'm really showing this because this is the Halloween quilt that I made a couple of years ago, and this is using Angela Walters' Halloween line, and I love this fabric so much. It's Hocus Pocus. If you're curious what the pattern is, I asked Angela a couple weeks ago. I came across this picture, and I was at the ball game, and they were using it as their picnic blanket, and I'm like, I need that fabric again because I gave this quilt to my grandkids, and now I want one because I gave mine away. So now I want to make another one. So Angela is reprinting some fabric for me, I'm pretty sure. So. And we call him Bubba Lincoln, and Lila, who's snuggling up next to me. She's my girl. She knows Gigi, oh, that one, she's my sewer. And then Landon in the front and John in the back. So now that's my little grandkids and us at his T-ball party. And then I've been working on the Mad Hatter. You might have seen some of that. And shout out to my friend Lorraine Jones. She made me these amazing clips that work so great with Art East Quilts. And my friend John at Art East, he designed this quilt, and I'm just obsessed with it. And I had such a fun cutting party. And I put together that little sweet Mad Hatter, and he is so cute. I think he's in the next slide. There he is. Yes. Oh my gosh. Is he not the cutest thing? Oh, John does such an amazing job. John at Art East. Not my John, but my John's pretty amazing too. But this is, I wanted to talk a little bit about this quilt. And this is a quilt that I did for my granddaughter Landon. And I did this for each one of my grandkids when they were born and when they had their first birthdays. This was the quilt I made for her first birthday, and it's a signature quilt. And if you've never done this before, I highly recommend it because what it is, you end up having this white space. You want to make sure you have enough white space in your quilt, but it gives everybody a place to sign and to write a happy birthday wish to whoever it is for their birthday. And I can tell you right now, Lila, who's the first grandchild, she has hers, and her Grammy had signed it, and Grammy has gone on to heaven, and that is on her quilt forever and ever. And that means so much to us as parents and grandparents to have those things to cherish for years and years beyond us. These things last forever, and they always have that to cherish. So anyway, I highly recommend doing a quilt like that, a signature quilt, because they'll have it forever. Okay, this is the Quilt Retreat t-shirt I designed for my girlfriends because, you know, we do t-shirts around here. That's just what we do. And we have t-shirts for everything. And even I remember, Jeannie, when we had you know, because we're all not perfect. We had a little time period where things were a little crazy. And I remember a t-shirt we even bought for that. What did it say? Oh, I wish we could all just quilt along. Can't we just quilt along? I mean, we got a t-shirt for everything, you guys. But this one, I just thought it was cute. And I put it together, and then I redesigned it for everybody else. So there's one out on my website, lesliequilts.com. Actually, if you go to Leslie Quilt Shop, lesliequiltshop.com, I have a t-shirt out there that looks very similar, but it's for all of you. So go check that out. And then this is a quilt that I worked on this week with my friend Krista. She came over and we put this together. This is the Crazy Eights pattern. There's a ruler template set that you'll use. It is going to be the easiest thing you ever put together, and it looks so complicated, but it's so fun. And you could just need a couple of layer cakes, and you can just cut that thing up and get to sewing. It is so easy. But this is using Lella Boutique's Boo, Hey Boo, I think, her Hey Boo line, and it is just fantastic. Bless you, Jeannie. And then if you don't know how to do this, I'm going to be doing a little tutorial on how to get your binding. We all love a good stripe on binding. I don't know about you, but if I see a stripe in a line of fabric, I'm going to grab it for my binding. But sometimes we want it just perfect. And if we're just going through and putting binding together and it kind of looks a little wonky, I've got some tips and tricks on how to do that. So I'll be doing a video series on that coming up pretty soon, but I kind of wanted to show you this is what that looks like. Okay, this was a cute quilt. I can't remember. I don't even know the name of it. It was a panel quilt kit that Krista had bought, and she had put this quilt together, and it was darling. I think she did it at one of y'all's retreats that y'all had. But it has little applique stars on it, and we used the cutest. It was from Urban Elements. It was Pumpkin Twirl. I'm pretty sure Pumpkin Twirl. That was the pantograph that I used on this one, and it just made it look like the wind was blowing around that girl. Her hair was flowing, and it just was perfect. So I just had to share it. Okay, this one was the nemesis of my day yesterday. So as you all know, I'm learning long arming. I really feel like I'm settling into it, and I'm learning a lot of good things. This one taught me more lessons than I wanted to learn yesterday. I picked a lot of stitches yesterday. Some lessons I learned about Minky and using Minky on the back of your quilts when you're long arming. Minky is very stretchy, which we all know, but we all love Minky. I love Minky is one of my favorite things. But not every pantograph works with Minky backing. If it has to be very aligned and you're having to do a lot of back stitching, it's going to stretch and it moves. And it doesn't matter how much you stabilize that Minky, it's going to move. So I learned the hard way. Orange peel in a very dense pattern was probably not the best idea, but I got it done. It's not perfect, but it's done. It's finished, and Krista loves it. There's a whole picture. I wanted to zoom out and so you could see a whole picture of that sweet little quilt witch. Isn't she so cute? I just love that. I'm obsessed with all the Halloween quilts. Jeannie and I both love Halloween, but these are really cute. Okay, there's my little happy birthday girl. Happy birthday, Sam! And my son. And of course, they went out to eat, and Bubba's learning how to use chopsticks. And boy, that kid, he could, if it means that he's going to get food in his mouth, he's going to find a way. And so, and there's that sassy boy giving me a kiss. And there they all are celebrating Sam's birthday. So sweet. Okay, there's another picture of my Nemesis quilt. And by the way, that if you don't know anything about that quilt, this is the one. If you know the it's the Little Ghost Quilt book. That is actually the quilt kit to make that quilt in that Little Ghost Quilt book. So Krista did an amazing job. It's just beautifully pieced, and I think that the back turned out beautiful, even if it was making me crazy. So that's it. Any questions? Jeannie, anybody have any questions that I needed to? That's it? Awesome. That was an easy breezy. John's going to be like, Jeannie, you're coming over every Thursday night.
Right, John, right on. I'm all about that, John.
Anyway, I really appreciate you guys. Every week, I love seeing all the same names popping up, and it's so fun. And I see new names every week. I know a few of you were messaging me earlier saying, oh my gosh, I'm finally able to make a live. So Jeannie, if you want to hit the second to last one. Yep, there you go. We will be back here again next Thursday night, and then I'm going to be having a retreat next weekend, so I'm sure I'll have lots of fun pictures to share from that, so stay tuned for more. But make sure you like and subscribe. That way you get notified when I go live. But I will see you next week. Make something pretty. See y'all. Bye.